We are ready for TBR number 2. Hello everyone, welcome back to A Fictional Escapist. My name is Kris, and today's video is my February TBR. I have forgotten that February is a shorter month and put more books on here than I think I have had in any TBR. So let's just get ahead and go into it. But wait, before we jump into the video today, make sure you're checking that description box down below for links to my Discord and social media, should you want to come along for the ride. Kicking off this TBR will be the buddy read starting in February. That is the Dragonlance Chronicles first trilogy, starting with the Dragons of Autumn Twilight. I picked up this really cool bind up for about $4 at a secondhand festival. Look at that beauty. And I'll be reading the first installment. We've got a couple of people joining us. I know Roger from Rogers Reads is going to be joining us for this one, as well as Palmer Pickering, one of my good friends and good friend to the channel, is also got this bind up. So if you want to join along, we'll be doing one a month. So we'll be doing Dragons of Autumn Twilight in February, Dragons of Winter Night in March, and then Dragons of Spring Dawning in April. So that is pretty exciting. Looking forward to jumping into that one in February. That is going to be one of the very early books off the rank in the month of February. Pretty good font, even though they're fairly big. I have read Dragons of Autumn Twilight before. This will be a reread for me, but I have not read books 2 and 3. So looking forward to jumping into that one. Next up on the list, and I realize this is just a month of sequels really for me and a couple of indie reads, is going to be The Great Hunt by Robert Jordan. So trying to keep on top of the Wheel of Time readathon over with Kate at the Literary Apothecary. I can never say it right. Book 2 will be happening in the month of February, and I have picked up the Rosamund Pike audio for this one as well. I really liked her narration for the first book, and I didn't realize that she'd also done the second book, so I'll be continuing on with the audio for this one, and I hope that I enjoyed as much as I enjoyed Eye of the World. Carrying on from there, we are still continuing on with the Wars of Light and Shadow over on the Discord. So book 2 is happening in February, and that is the Keeper of the Keys here. I will say to Jenny Wirtz that I appreciate that you have given us a smaller book in this trilogy, so that way I can fit it in, because I have so many books on this TBR. So really, I'm currently reading the Storm Warden, which is book 1. I'm really enjoying it. I love the way that Jenny writes, so I'm really looking forward to picking up book 2, Keeper of the Keys, in February. Moving on from there, we have another sequel. I'll be picking up A Closed and Common Orbit. This is by Becky Chambers, a follow-up to The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I loved the first book in the Wayfarer series. I can't wait to continue on with book 2. I will be picking this one up on audio this time, because I hear that the audiobooks are also really good. So looking forward to getting to that one as well. And then I didn't quite finish or get to the first buddy read on the channel, which was the Book of Words by J.V. Jones. Book 3 was meant to happen in January. I was out for a full week with work, and I just didn't read a whole lot during that week, so I am behind. I'm hoping to pick up Master and Fool, which is the chunkiest book in this trilogy, in February as well, in hopes to catch up and finish off that trilogy. So we'll see. Hopefully it happens. Fingers are crossed, everyone. Cross your fingers for me. Then we have another sort of unofficial buddy read. I know Theo and I wanted to do this one together, but the Library of Alexandria and read by Kyle picked it up early, and we're doing a read along as well, so we're going to try and fit it in with there, and then just timelines and whatnot. So potentially I'll be reading the first book in the Cicero trilogy, Imperium by Robert Harris. This is a historical fiction murder mystery type thing, and we're following Cicero, or something about Cicero. I've mentioned before, historical fiction does not stick in my head, so it's like a new story every time, and I really genuinely enjoy historical fiction, but I can just never remember about anything in the real life situation. So this will be a whole new experience for me. I'm pretty sure Cicero came up in some sort of high school study that I did. I can't remember anything. So maybe, this is a maybe to get to the first book. I do have it on audio as well as physical, depending on time and when we get to it, but it is sort of on the cards. I'll see what Theo is doing. And shockingly, there's another sequel on here. So I am also hoping to finish off the current books out in the Star Children saga by Palmer Pickering by picking up Light Fighters as well. This is book 2 in that series. I believe book 3 is being worked on this year, so I'd like to be current and up to date for when that comes out. And I'm also hoping to read this one with a buddy of mine over on Bookstagram, What Shay Reads. I'll put their handle down below if you want to go and check out their page. But they've been sending me updates on their read of Moondeed, so I'm excited to read this with someone over there as well. Another sequel that I'd like to get to, so I'm ready for the next installment of the series, is The Forbidden Realms. This is by H.C. Newell. I just finished Curse of the Fallen this morning. It was a really fun time, great entry-level fantasy and a fun adventure. Some of the best banter that I've read between some characters in a little while, and I had a lot of fun with it. I was mainly listening to this while I was walking or at the gym, and it was just a really good time, so I'm looking forward to continuing on with that series with The Forbidden Realms. They are nice and short, so I'm hoping to slip that one in some point in this month. The next one I have is an arc. This is Vevin Song by Jonathan Neves Mayers. This was mentioned in my January TBR. I unfortunately did not get to it, so I will be reading this pretty early in the month of February to try and get that book out, that review out before the release date. This one sounds quite different. I'm looking forward to jumping into this tale. It has a lot of promise, and I apologize for not getting to it in January, but we'll try and get to it in very early February. Then I'm looking to pick up Godeena. This is by Stepan Kobets. He was an entrant into the SPSFC in 2021/2022, and I'm looking forward to jumping into this entry. I'll read a little bit of the blurb. It says, Major Henry Bronken miraculously survives a battle with Anska soldiers on the planet Morad. He is found under a pile of corpses, the only survivor. His best friend and the whole of his brigade remain in the field of death. Bronken is fully acquitted, receives a medal for bravery, and is promoted to the rank of brigadier, but he cannot forgive himself and feels responsible for falling into the Anska trap. Shortly after, the Anskas are beaten and the war ends. The winning terrestrial colonies receive ownership of a system called Naud, comprised of various planets including Godeena. On the surface of Godeena, there is a huge, completely preserved but uninhabited city that scientists have named the Absolute. Analysis of the city reveals no signs of life. A team of scientists is sent to investigate what has happened to the people and the animals of Absolute. A few days later, the team is attacked and contact with the scientists is lost. The General Staff sends 2 teams of special forces to find out what happened to the expedition, but they also disappear, leaving no trace. The commander of the General Staff, General Hensel, is personally involved with the mystery. He requests the Brigadier Henry Bronken to gather a unit composed of the worst inmates from the inescapable prison to investigate what is happening on Godeena. Henry accepts this task and collects 17 prisoners, each with unique skills. Among them is Maria, who possesses an enormous psychic power and has a wicked second personality called Kia. The unusual team of criminals led by Bronken travels to Godeena to discover what terrors await them there. It sounds like it could be a really fun sci-fi romp, right? The last one that I have on this list is The Way of Unity by Sarah K. Bolstrop. This is releasing in February, I believe, early February. I have applied to be on an Escapist book tour for this one. It is a dark historical fantasy, and it sounds awesome. It's got a religious undertone, and I just love all of those things. So this one says, the 7 lands of Velspar put their faith in the Intercessors, a psychic priesthood responsible for the purification of the spirit. Where passion flares, they soothe its intent. Those who cannot be soothed are cast out, and their spirits destroyed by fire. The Intercessors are mystics of the highest order, but Velspar's ruling Scalans believe their power has grown too great. Surviving the Intercessors' murder plot against her family, Sibella Ladane rises to power. The Scalans come together under the banner of her grief, bringing the practice of intercession to its brutal, bloody end. Yet victory brings Sibella no peace. In time, she will have to face the people of Velspar, forced to live in a psychically alienated world, and a band of rebels led by an escaped intercessor set on her annihilation. It sounds really cool, and I can't wait. It's one of my anticipated reads of 2023, and I'm really looking forward to getting to The Way of Unity. Those are the books I've got on my radar for the shortest month of the year. Am I insane? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know what you're picking up in the month of February. If you like the content, give it one of those. If you want to see more of it, click subscribe at your will. I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.